We're going to have a look at some new functionality in the report wizard. That's the data table, and the data table allows you to download large volumes of data directly to Excel and analyze it in a pivot table. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the account. I'm going to select the balance sheet, and by ticking the option next to the account dimension, we're going to get all the base members of the selected account, so all the accounts that roll up to the balance sheet. And I'm also include all the base members of the custom to dimension, because that's the one we have the opening to closing in. And I'm going to choose just a few members from the period dimension. So when I download the data, I'm going to download all the accounts, all the base accounts, all the base custom to for the selected entity for the 3 selected periods. Extracting the data this way is the most efficient method of getting the data out of HFM. So you can see it took 4.7 seconds to extract all the data. So here we have a pivot table. When we scroll down, we can see all the base accounts for each of the 3 periods we had selected. And when we expand, we get the opening to closing analysis. So it displays only the members of the custom to dimension that have data. So we expand, we only see the members with data. And automatically the system has removed certain custom to members that we don't want included in our analysis, because we've entered those in a separate spreadsheet. So we're looking at this particular entity, PLC. If I click change the entity to a different entity, so this time I just want to look at Europe, and I'm going to add in an additional period. So now we're looking at the 4 periods for Europe. Select OK. The data is downloaded to the table, and the pivot table is automatically updated. And we could do different things with the report. So if I want to analyze the custom to by account, I can do that. So now looking at the custom to members, and when I expand, I see the accounts that roll up to it. So that is downloading the pivots. If we look at the data here, we've got all the accounts downloaded into a table with the descriptions. Now supposing I want to look at the parents of the account, so rather than the base, I want to incorporate into the table the parent of the account dimension. So I'm going to right click in the parent column, select in the account column and select parent, and that adds the account parent to the table. And say now I want to include the descriptions of the account parent, and they get added in. If I go back to the pivot and refresh, we've now got the account parent description available to drag into our report. So now we're looking at account parent, and when we expand, we can see the custom to. When we expand further down, we see the account. So that is the data pivot. It's a way of downloading large volumes of data and automatically summarizing them in a pivot table. The data downloaded is controlled entirely by the security, so if you don't have access to the data, you won't be able to download it. But once it's in a spreadsheet, it's offline analysis. That means as you're manipulating the data in your spreadsheet, you're not making a call to the server, so the performance is instantaneous. It also means you now have a spreadsheet that you can use offline or email to other people. You can run the data table without summarizing in a pivot, should you want to just have the data table on its own. Okay, so that is the new functionality added to the report wizard, the data table.